everyone. I'm Talika, and I took the practicum course in spring 2020. And I'm really excited to share my practicum experience with you all so that you all can get a better idea of what the practicum course is and how to make the most of your practicum experience. So here's just a little bit about me. I went into more detail in our course introductions last week, but prior to me making the transition into higher ed, um, I spent almost 15 years in K-12 at classrooms as a substitute teacher, as a high school math teacher, a middle school math teacher, a gifted educator, and I served as the geometry team lead the last couple of years. Currently, I'm a fourth year PhD student, and I am currently in the process of getting my dissertation research and my dissertation off the ground so that I can graduate in May 2026. As you all know, I am the graduate teaching assistant for this course, and I'm in the GCE department. And sometimes I serve as a journal reviewer for the Journal of Advanced Academic and Gifted Child Quarterly. I also serve on a couple of diversity, equity, and equity committees and coalitions with GAGC and NAGC. So that's kind of what I do professionally right now. As far as my research interests, I've shared those as well. My research primarily focuses on underrepresentation issues in gifted and talented education advanced learner programs, but my research specifically focuses on increasing equity and access for historically marginalized students. And within that, it primarily focuses on minoritized students and economically disadvantaged students. As far as my future career goals is concerned, I want to become a teacher of teachers. I've had so many great K-12 teachers, professors and instructors and mentors in higher ed that have really supported me along my journey to become the educator that I am today and the educator that I put my everything into continuing to grow and be. So I want to do the same for my fellow educators and future educators because in my research, I have uncovered that a lot of our gifted programs and advanced learner programs, they don't conduct equity audits because there is a lack of resources, time, and personnel to do so. So I also want to do some educational consulting in helping schools conduct equity audits of their gifted programs and their advanced learner programs. So at the beginning of my practicum experience, I was both nervous and excited, but I was also a bit overwhelmed, honestly, because at the time I was managing teaching full time in addition to my responsibilities as a wife, a mother, a daughter, a niece, a granddaughter, and all those things, and a friend. So I wasn't sure how I was going to balance everything that I had going on personally and professionally and academically, in addition to the practicum project, because I was in my EDS program full time. So I was taking two other classes in addition to the practicum at the time. Um, it definitely is a big commitment. But because I was motivated to dive into something that I found meaningful and that would make a difference, I was able to stay motivated, balance my time, really focus on time management, and remain committed to the entire practicum experience. So, in deciding on my topic was based on research that I was already engaging in. Um, I won't go into like a significant amount of detail because I will spend too much time here, but my research focus was already centered around increasing minoritized students' participation in honors and AP classes. So my Practicum experience just extended on that. And you can see my general problem statement here and my qualitative research question, my quantitative research question, and my mixed methods research question. And I can just quickly tell you all to address my quantitative research question, I gave students, teachers, instructional coaches, and APs, I gave them a survey. So it was conducted using a survey. And for my qualitative research, I conducted interviews with those same stakeholders. And for the mixed methods, it was just um, a my interpretation and analysis of the findings from the qualitative part and the quantitative part of my research. So, in terms of my initial research topic, in the first couple of weeks, I dove into research by reading studies on peer mentorship, gifted and talented education, advanced learner programs, and the barriers faced by traditionally underrepresented students. I also examine how giftedness is identified in special populations and how gifted and talented education and advanced learner programs can be improved to better engage racially, culturally, and lingually diverse learners. I gathered a plethora of academic articles, educational reports from the Office of Civil Rights, from different educational sources, as well as program descriptions from different colleges and universities in terms of peer-to-peer mentoring. I kept detailed notes to help me really structure my project well. And all of this served as the foundation for shaping my approach to my practicum experience. Balancing everything, including family, teaching full time, and my other classes and the practicum, it definitely required careful time management. So I set weekly goals and broke the work into smaller chunks. The course assignments and how the due dates were structured helped a lot because it provided clear deadlines about when my project proposal was due, the different progress reports or check-ins, which were Journal 1, Journal 2, and the midpoint assessment, as well as the final project or what the two final projects were going to be. Having those checkpoints really kept me on track and prevented the majority of the last minute stress. I'm a worrier by nature, so it is natural for me to stress. And I can be honest, there was some tough weeks, but pacing myself and really working through how I laid things out really made it manageable. And some weeks are better than others, so give yourself grace. So just a very brief overview of my practicum. The title of my practicum was The Pursuit of Advanced Achievement, and it explored the academic hesitation among high ability and gifted minoritized students in enrolling in advanced coursework such as honors and AP classes. And my goal here was to identify the barriers contributing to this reluctance and to implement a peer mentorship program or model that encouraged participation, built academic confidence, and promoted equitable access to advanced educational opportunities. And this is just a picture of my flyer that I used to recruit mentors and mentees for my program. So in terms of the assignments and the timeline, on the left, I just have a quick graphic here that shows you the title, who my mentor was, and my mentor was my evaluating AP at the time. as well as the timeline for when all of the things were due. In terms of my pre-conference, I met with Dr. Hines because she facilitated my practicum experience. And in that pre-conference, I shared with her what my topic was. We established my practicum mission and goals. We kind of roughly outlined what I wanted my practicum experiences to be, and we discussed possible products. In terms of my presentation, I created a short visual presentation of my practicum experience, excuse me, and it included an overview of the missions and goals. It highlighted major activities and shared important insights from my practicum experience. In terms of my portfolio, I created a digital portfolio to show all of my progress through the practicum. And in my portfolio, it includes artifacts like the mentor training modules, the framework for the peer mentorship program, the mission statement, and program flyer, just to name a few. So all of each of the blue links that you see here, you can click them and it should take you to all of those products from my practicum. So in terms of what I felt like were the top three achievements from my practicum experience, one thing was that I really felt like I developed a strong framework and training materials for the peer mentorship program. I gained greater insight into how systemic disparities and educational inequities in gifted and talented programs and advanced learner programs, how it contributes to underrepresentation issues. And most importantly, my biggest achievement for me was that I was able to have a meeting and sit with my principal, my evaluating AP, and the two APs that at the time facilitated and managed the AP and honors classes at the high school that I was working at the time. So I got to talk to them about my plan for the peer mentorship program, its implementation, and why I felt like it would be valuable to our school community. So we all struggle with time management issues because our schedules are so busy. So, although it was a challenge, I don't feel like it was my biggest challenge. I feel like within the practicum, my biggest challenge was figuring out how to help teachers, school leaders, and district leaders understand how to more effectively address inequitable access in gifted and talented education and advanced learner programs. In terms of positive takeaways, here are my six, but the bottom three are probably the three that are closest to my heart, so to speak. This really allowed me to evaluate equity in access in gifted education and advanced learner programs. And that's in turn what prompted me or really helped me develop my passion for becoming an educational consultant and helping schools and school districts assess and evaluate the equity in their gifted and talented programs and their advanced learner programs. It was born out of this practicum project. In addition, helping schools learn how to restructure and reimagine the curricula to integrate more culturally responsive teaching pedagogies and instructional practices and gifted identification practices. I developed a better understanding of the need for that during my practicum project. And probably the most important thing was that I understood the importance of me becoming an advocate and an agent for systemic change in terms of minority students and the inequity that they experience in education as well as in gifted education. So my advice for current practicum students in a nutshell is definitely pick a topic you're passionate about. Make sure that you set clear and measurable goals for how you plan to um, facilitate and work through your practicum experience. Make sure you thoroughly research your topic. The more background research you have, the better. Select relevant and reliable sources, academic journals, talk to scholars in the field, um, textbooks, TED Talks, conference presentations. Rely on those as resources, as relevant and reliable resources. Stay organized and pace yourself. Know that and understand that you may get off track, but just learning how to have that work-life balance will help you get back on track and get yourself refocused. Ask for help whenever you need it. Life can be overwhelming personally, professionally, and academically. So always ask for help. Both Dr. Hook and I are here to assist you all throughout your practicum process in the best way that we can. So don't be afraid to ask for our help or to reach out to other mentors or classmates. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And all in all, the last thing I'll say before I close it out is to just understand that this is such a unique chance for you to learn, explore, and to create something both meaningful to you and something that will help push the field of gifted and talented education forward. So good luck. Make the best of this learning experience and enjoy your journey. If you have questions, you know where to find me.